who is a rebel and who is a patriot. Today I'm going to give you the thin line between a rebel and a patriot. Pay scrupulous attention to details so you can get the nitty-gritty of this lecture. You see, most times when you check the definition of a rebel, they tell you a rebel is one who resists authority, one who challenges the status quo and takes up a cause against an established government and those in power. That is whom a rebel is. So as long as you resist authority, challenging the status quo, and then carries up a cause against an established government or power, you are a rebel. Do you know what that definition did not capture? It did not capture what is actually the status quo. That is what the definition did not capture. So whoever goes against that second French is a rebel. And who is a patriot? Someone who takes whatever law or rule that is made by the established government, who swallows it hook, line, and sinker. That is someone who takes everything that comes from the system, is a loyal citizen. That is a patriot. But you see, today, I will give you a distinct definition of who a rebel is and who a patriot is. You see, the difference between a rebel and a patriot depends on who controls the government. The day a rebel succeeds and controls the government, automatically the rebel becomes the patriot, while the patriot becomes the rebel. Pay attention, follow me carefully. I'm taking you into a roller coaster of events as they unfold in history. As long as the apartheid regime of South Africa was concerned, Nelson Madiba Mandela was a rebel because he was a co-founder of the ANC arm wing in 1961. In 1962, Mandela was arrested. In 1964, at the Renova trial, he was tried and convicted. He went to jail for 27 years. Why? Because he challenged the status quo. He challenged an established government. Because you have to understand that the apartheid regime was legal. So whoever challenges automatically is a rebel. So Mandela went to prison for 27 years. In 1994, when he came out, he has succeeded. Automatically, he has become a hero. He becomes the patriot, while those who were against him are now rebels. Follow me carefully. Paul Kagame of Rwanda, in 1990, as long as the government of Rwanda was concerned, Paul Kagame was a rebel because he was the leader of the Rwandan Patriotic Force. But after the Civil War, the Genocide Rwandan War in 1994, this man succeeded. He defeated the established government. And in 1990, he became a hero. In 2000, he became a president. That is someone who was seen as a rebel. Now he has been seen as a hero. The difference between a rebel and a patriot depends on who controls the government. The previously known rebel is now a hero. Controlling the government automatically is now a patriot. Let's go to the Western world. George Washington, as long as the British government were concerned in 1775, George Washington was a rebel because in June 1775, he was made the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army in June 1775. The British government saw him as a rebel. But in 1783, he succeeded. He became a hero, a patriot, while those against him became a rebel. The difference between a rebel and a patriot depends on who controls the government. The day a rebel succeeds and controls the government, automatically the rebel becomes the patriot, while the patriot becomes the rebel. You need to understand that power shifts, government changes. What is written can be unwritten, and a man who is seen as a rebel can become a hero. So what am I telling you in essence? That your government sometimes can be wrong. And I'm using the word sometimes in order for me not to get caught in the web of hasty generalization. What am I saying? What I'm saying is this. Your concept of who a rebel and who a patriot is should not be dependent on what the government declares. It should be based on what is right, based on what is just, based on what is good for the people. It should not be based on what the power structure defines, because the upper mundo structure can be wrong. So you must ask yourself, what is right? What is wrong? Is this how it's supposed to be? So that you will not hate a man who has done you nothing. That is why the philosopher said, abnormal reaction in an abnormal situation is a normal behavior. Sometimes, if the status quo is not challenged, things will go haywire. Africa, wisdom is the principal thing. Of course, you know I care about you. And all I preach is peace and love in Africa, because we must unite. And we uniting means that we must know what our political arena entails. I love and I care about you. For those of you who are requesting for books, don't worry, books will be given to you. Just make sure you join the platform. So when I send books there, you can be able to get it. Everyone will get it automatically, because sending it to you one after the other is Herculean tax. But be that as it may, I will still do as much as possible to get to all of you. We are still going from school to schools, giving free books to African children, letting them know that reading is a mental calisthenics. So we can give books to people who cannot afford books and send some children back to school. So if you want to be part of that campaign, reach out to me, support us financially, so we can take the children back to school and give them books. I love you and I care about you, Africa. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Modern Day Town Crier. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Modern Day Town Crier. Follow my backup page, Modern Day Town Crier Backup. I love you and I care about you. Wisdom Africa. It's a principal thing. Aha.